My dear friends of the secondary school third year, welcome back to our TV educational English program. Today, my dear friends, we are going to deal with a fictional story, The Prisoner of Zenda. Anthony Hope wrote this fictional story about a fictional country. Anthony Hope, the most famous writer in the English world, wrote about the conflict between the good and the evil. But first, my dear friends, let me welcome my colleague, Caroline. Welcome, Ms. Caroline.
Hello, Mr. Muhammad. Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to our educational program on TV. We're going to have a lot today about the Prisoner of Zenda. As we said before, Prisoner of Zenda is a story, as what Mr. Muhammad said, is a fictional story. We're going to continue the story together. We are today going to start chapter 8. We are kind of in the middle of the story. So let's please work together for the first part of chapter 8. Let's have the summary.
Summary of Chapter 8, Part 1. Rassendyll waited by the drawbridge gate next to the castle.
Datcherd, Bersonen, and de Gothey were left to protect the king in his prison.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning when there was a loud noise from the mansion.
A woman's voice cried, "Help, Michael, help me!" It was Antoinette de Maubon.
This was exactly what Rassendyll had asked her to say in his message to her.
But it was around an hour too early before his men had reached the front door to the mansion. And even before Joanne had time to open it.
Rassendyll pulled out his sword and stood ready for what might happen. Then he heard Antoinette calling again.
"Help, Michael! It's Rupert Hensel!" Michael ran to help her with his servants.
Robert told Michael that Antoinette had been writing secret letters to Rassendyll and that she needed to be punished.
Michael said that Antoinette was his guest, and he decided to punish Rupert for treating Antoinette badly.
Both men fought together, and Robert managed to kill Michael.
Then he jumped out of the window into the moat below and escaped.
After that, the jet appeared in front of Rassendyll, so Rassendyll killed him.
He searched his body and found 3 keys.
At last, Rassendyll could enter the room where the king was being kept prisoner.
Bersonen appeared and Rassendyll killed him with his sword.
ده تاني واحد رودولف راسندل قتله النهارده من رجال الديوك مايكل.
Datcherd realized there was danger, so he closed the door fast.
Rassendyll unlocked the door to the second room. When he entered the room, he saw Datcherd being held by the king's doctor.
The king looked frightened. The king was weak from illness and chained in one corner.
The doctor was too weak to hold Datcherd for long, and before Rassendyll could help him. Datcherd broke free and killed the poor doctor with his sword. يبقى أول واحد اتقتل في الغرفة اللي بتاع الدكتور، الغرفة بتاع الملك، هو the doctor. شوف الباقي.
Rassendyll fought with Datcherd.
The king helped Rassendyll by pushing a chair against Datcherd's legs, so Datcherd found it hard to stand up.
This made him angry, and he struck the king hard with his sword, but as he did so, he fell over the doctor's body, and it was easy for Rassendyll to kill him as he lay on the floor.
يبقى التالت واحد من رجال الديوك مايكل دلوقتي اتقتلوا، في 2 اتقتلوا بره، واحد اتقتل في غرفة الملك. The king was still alive. The drawbridge was now down. نزل الكوبري عشان ينزل جوه الكاسل اوف زند. Robert stood in the middle of the bridge with his sword. طلع من الميه وقف على الكوبري ومعاه السيف بتاعه.
He called out for Michael to come out and fight as he thought that Michael was still alive. بس طبعا مايكل كان اتقتل already، هو قتله في غرفة أنطوانيت.
Antoinette told him that Michael was dead and she wanted to shoot him with a gun.
But Rupert jumped quickly into the water below the bridge.
Sept and his men finally arrived at the front door on the other side of the mansion.
Razendel ran after Rupert and also jumped into the water.
Robert swam faster than Razendel لأن راسندل طبعا كان مجروح من وهو في الغرفة. Could with his wounded arm Robert ran off into the forest. خرج من المية للغابة.
He found a boy riding his horse to the market. He took the boy's horse.
The boy cried. Robert tried to get the boy to be quiet by giving him some money.
Rupert was the last one of the 6 men. The other 5 men were killed by Razendel.
Razendel attacked Robert and managed to cut his cheek.
If Fritz hadn't arrived at the right time, Rupert would have killed Razendel.
Fritz was holding a gun, so Robert escaped. Razendel told Fritz to go after Robert.
But Fritz decided to stay and look after Razendel, who was very weak and fell to the ground. Now let's go to some questions. Answer the following questions. Please follow us. We have a lot of important questions on the summary that we have just introduced.
Where did Razendel wait for it to be 2 o'clock? انتظر فين راسندل لغايه ما تبقى الساعه 2 حسب الاتفاق مع أنطونيت.
He waited by the drawbridge gate next to the castle.
How did Razendel give the keys to the king's prison?
He took them from de Gautier's clothes after he killed him.
Who got killed in the first room of the king's prison?
Bersonan got killed in the first room.
Who got killed in the room where the king was?
طبعا فاكرين لسه قايلين it was the doctor who was killed by Detchard and Detchard was killed by Razendel.
How did the king help Razendel in the fight against Detchard?
وده بالرغم انه الكينج was tired and he was ill وكان موجود في الغرفه بقاله كتير محبوس، ولكن قدر ان هو يساعد رازندل ان هو ما يتقتلش بداتشارد. طب ساعده ازاي؟ He helped Razendel by pushing a chair into Detchard as he was fighting. This made him lose his balance and fall over the doctor's body. Then it was easy for Razendel to kill him.
Who killed Duke Michael?
It was Rupert Henso لما كان في غرفة أنطوانيت دو موبان.
Why did Robert ride away instead of fighting Razendel?
Because Fritz came with a gun and Rupert knew he couldn't fight both of them. A gun could kill from a distance. So Fritz could kill Rupert from a distance before Rupert could kill Razendel with a sword.
Why did Razendel wait in the forest until dark to go to the castle?
Razendel waited until he could go into the castle under the cover of dark. He didn't want anyone to see him.
Was Razendel right to continue to pretend to be the king for so long? دي ممكن تبقى سؤال عام على القصة مش بس بيخص chapter 8.
Yes, he was right. Because if he hadn't done that, Duke Michael would have taken the crown and killed the king. هو ما كانش عنده تقريبا اختيار تاني، هو كان لازم يكمل لحد الآخر وإلا كانت هتبقى كل البلان باظت والبلد نفسها خلاص هيبقى ديوك مايكل ليه الأحقية إن هو يقدر ياخد الحكم، وده طبعا ما كانش لا سابت ولا فريدز ولا أي حد من القصر كانوا عايزين حاجة زي كده، فكان لازم يكمل البلان لحد الآخر.
Why didn't Rasindel remain the king؟ ليه راسندل ما فضلش ملك على طول؟ كان ممكن يكمل يعني.
The king was still alive, so it wasn't right for Rasindel to remain the king. مش بس كده، كمان أظن إنه راسندل ككاركتر في ذاته كان شايف إنه من الكرامة ومن الشرف إن هو لازم ما يكملش ولازم يسيب الأحقية للملك للملك. وكمان حتى even في برنسس فلافيا كان طبيعي إن هو يقول لها إنه بيحبها وإن هو شخص تاني، ولكن honor and dignity هو ده اللي كان البرنسبل اوف رودولف راسندل، واللي خلاه انه يصمم انه بعد ما يخلص مهمته he has to get back to his country and leave the real king to rule back again.
يعني ممكن نقول على راسندل ان هو a man of principle.
طبعا it's a man of principle، ده اكيد، لانه لولا الكرامه والامانه والمبادئ اللي هو كان بيتبعها كان سهل جدا عليه ان هو ياخد الملك وان هو يتجوز فلافيا، وما كانش حد يعرف حاجه لانه كان سهل
ممكن يوافق على الاتفاق بتاع روبرت لما قال له اقتل انت سابت.
هو اخد اكتر من مره مرتين عروض ان ياخد فلوس ويوصل للبوردر ويسيب البلد ويمشي، ولكن because he's a man of principle زي ما قلنا that's why he decided to continue the plan by honor، وفي الاخر to leave everything and get the king to rule back again.
يعني معنى كده دلوقتي رودولف راسندل بدأ to have responsibility. قبل كده لما كانت روز بتقول
كان مجرد it was just having fun وكان بيسافر وبيروح ويجي، لكن اثبت later on انه فعلا he is a man of principle لانه he was ready to care for this responsibility even until the end.
That's right. The king was still alive, so it wasn't right for Rasindel to remain the king. If Rasindel was a wiser and better ruler than the real king, would it be wrong for him to remain a king?
بالظبط، هو ده اللي احنا لسه كنا بنتكلم فيه، فيا ترى what is the answer going to be? Let's see. طبعا yes, it would be wrong because even if he was wiser and better than the real king, it wasn't right for him to take something that belonged to someone else. الكرامة والشرف يمنعه ان هو يقدر يكمل في هذا المكان لانه مش مكانه، كان لازم يرجع تاني.
What did Rasindel learn from his adventure? He learned responsibility and how to do the right thing. الكلام اللي كانت معترض عليه روز قبل كده.
يبقى احنا كده حتى لو سألنا وقلنا هل روز her point of view about راسندل كانت حقيقية وكانت صح ان هو لا مش راجل ذو مسؤولية والكلام ده كله، لا طبعا نقدر نيجي على اخر الستوري بعد ما قريناها كلها نثبت انه لا he was a man of responsibility، وده ظهر فين ونقدر نحكي السيتويشن اللي حصلت كلها في الستوري من اول البلان لاخرها.
تمام، لان هي لما كانت روز بتكلمه هو ساعتها ما كانش فيه مسؤولية يشيلها.
بالظبط.
وبالتالي هو ما كانش عنده مسؤولية.
تمام.
فعشان كده لما اتحط في مسؤولية بقى the man of principle.
Yes.
What was Rasendel's original plan to save the king? خطة راسندل الحقيقية ايه في انقاذ الملك؟
وهنا عندنا two plans، يعني لازم نخلي بالنا what was the origin what was the other. The plan was that Joan would open the front door of the mansion at 2 o'clock. ونخلي بالنا ان انطوانيت دو موبا لما اتفق معاها ان هي تزعق وتندى عليه ده كان قبل الميعاد، فهو حصل فعلا اللي هي اتفق عليه لكن كان بدري بفتره حسب الخطه الاولانيه، فلازم نبقى فاهمين ايه الخطه الاساسيه اللي اتعملت وايه وايه اللي حصل فعلا او اللي حدث ساعتها واللي خلى الخطه شويه فيها نوع من التغيير. The plan was that Joan would open the front door of the mansion at 2 o'clock. Sapt and his men would go in and tie up any servants who did not want to help the king. At the same time, Antoinette de Mauban would cry out for Michael to help her. That would keep Michael busy while Sapt and his men dealt with the servants.
Why didn't everything go as Rasindel had planned first? ليه ما فيش حاجة مشت زي ما راسندل كان مخطط؟
Exactly، ده اللي احنا لسه بنقوله حالا. And why?
Antoinette called for help an hour earlier. طب ليه هي طلبت المساعدة في ساعة بدري؟ Because she was attacked by Robert who wanted to punish her. طب ليه ليه روبرت عاوز يعاقبها؟ For writing secret letter to Rasindel.
وده ما كانش جزء من البلان، لكن ده اللي حصل فجأة وأدى إن روبرت يبقى موجود في الغرفة وإنه تنده على بلاك مايكل ويجي بلاك مايكل ويتقتل وتتكمل الخطة بطريقة مختلفة عن اللي كان اوريدي رودولف راسندل رسم لها من الأول.
وفي كده في الحالات الشر اللي موجود في القصة كان بيمثله مايكل وروبرت.
بالظبط.
احنا طبعا المورال بتاعنا إن الشر دلوقتي قضى على بعض. يعني روبرت دلوقتي قتل ديوك مايكل، وفضل الخير اللي موجود في القصه اللي هو الملك الطيب. هو صحيح ما كانش بيساعد الناس، بس طبعا رودولف راسندل changed the image of the king into the mind of the people.
وبتهيالي even what happened to the king is going later to give him a force to continue on the same way of what Rasendel had already prepared him for.
يعني هو راسندل حط له الطريق اللي هيمشي عليه
بس
الملك،
لازم هيكمل
ويبدأ
عليه
يمشي
ده.
كمان. Why did Robert and Michael fight each other؟ ايه سبب الخناقه اللي كانت بينهم؟
They fought each other because Rupert wanted to punish Antoinette de Mauban as she sent secret letters to Rasendel.
What did Robert do when Antoinette pointed a gun at him؟
She wanted to kill him بعد ما قتل Black Michael, so he quickly jumped into the water below the bridge.
How did Robert got a horse to escape؟ هو خرج من الميه ما كانش معاه حصان ولا حاجه. طب ازاي طلع ولقى في حصان موجود؟
He took a horse from a boy in order to escape.
Why did Robert strike his sword at Johann؟ طبعا روبرت وهو بيتخانق برضه مع انطوانيت، جوهان جاي يحوش، جوهان جاي يساعد ديوك مايكل، فقال له انت كمان.
He did so because he believed that Johann was Rasendel's spy. هو خلاص ما فيش ثقة في حد، فتوقع ان يكون هو السباي of Rasendel.
How did Robert manage to escape after he had killed Michael؟
He jumped out of the window down into the moat below and swam away.
What did the doctor do to save the king's life؟
He held Datcherd for some time, but he was too weak, so Datcherd broke free and killed the doctor with his sword.
Why was it lucky that Datcherd didn't have gun؟
طبعا لانه لو كان معاه جن اسهل حاجه السورد لازم يبقى قريب منه، لكن الجن he's going to shoot from distance. If Datcherd had had a gun, he would have shot Rasendel dead.
What did the Duke do when he found out that Antoinette had warned Rasendel in Stralsund؟
He tricked her by inviting her and her servants to his castle. And once she was there, he didn't let her leave in order to stop her telling anyone about his plan.
Why couldn't Johann open the door for Sapt and his men as planned؟ زي ما تخطط، ليه ما قدرش جوهان يفتح الباب؟
Because he was helping the Duke in his fight with Rupert.
According to Rasendel, what was the thing that Robert couldn't understand؟
He couldn't understand that Rasendel was pretending to be the king for the good of Ruritania.
لأن طبعا روبرت هنا عرض على راسندل قبل كده إن هو ممكن يفضل راسندل ملك على طول، وروبرت بياخد مكافأة ويهرب، بس راسندل رفض. فروبرت بيعاتبه في الموقف دلوقتي، هم في الفورست، بيقول له ليه انت ما مشيتش حسب الاجريمنت اللي احنا كنا متفقين عليه، او الاتفاق اللي كان بيني وبينك يعني. فطبعا فعلا روبرت مش فاهم ان راسندل بيعمل كده for the sake of the king and for the sake of Ruritania، مش بيعمل كده عشان يفضل ملك.
هو مش متخيل ان هو عنده هذا الكم من الكرامه والشرف انه يمشي في بلان، وممكن يوصل انه كان يتقتل، وكان ممكن يحصل مشاكل كتير اكبر من كده just for the sake of Ruritania.
تمام، هو لانه evil man، فاكر ان ممكن كل الناس تبقى زيه.
They are going to be the same like Duke Michael, his master.
Why did it take a long time for Sapt and his men to enter the mansion؟
Johann couldn't open the door at 2 o'clock because he was helping the Duke who was fighting with Rupert. باب مقفول يبقى مش هيقدروا يدخلوا.
What did Sapt ask Johann and Antoinette to do؟
He asked them to guard the secret about the real king. He asked them not to tell anyone that the king was a prisoner in the castle.
Now read the quotation and answer the question. This woman has been writing secret letter to Rasendel. She needs to be punished.
احنا كنا لسه بنقول مين اللي كان عايز to punish Antoinette de Mauban. So who said this to whom? Yes, exactly. It's Rupert Henzo. He said this to Duke Michael.
هو this woman ده عايد على مين الست دي؟
طبعا it was Antoinette de Mauban.
What was the speaker doing while saying this؟ كان بيعمل ايه هو بيقول الجملة دي؟ ساعتها كان بيعمل ايه؟
Rupert Henzo. What was he doing? He was attacking Antoinette and he was fighting with Duke Michael.
Dead? That's good. مات كويس قوي. Then I am your leader now. Put down your weapons and do as I say. شوف الأسئلة دي، مين اللي قال الكوتيشن ده؟ Who said this to whom؟
Rupert Henzo said this to the Duke's servants when they were standing near the door of the mansion.
Where was the speaker؟ طبعا لسه قايلينها دلوقتي.
سائلين حالا he was standing on the drawbridge between the mansion and the castle لما نزل بعد ما قتل Duke Michael.
Did the people obey him؟ What happened؟
طبعا no, they didn't obey him. They let Madame Antoinette de Mauban try to shoot him. هم already كانوش بيحبوا روبرت لأنه كمان he was a tough guy, evil and wicked. يمكن أكتر من Duke Michael كمان.
Why didn't you follow my plan؟ We could have worked well together. ده العتاب اللي كان بيعاتبه روبرت لرودولف راسند اللي هم في الغابة. Why didn't you follow my plan؟ We could have worked well together. ليه ما مشيتش حسب الخطة اللي احنا وضعناها مع بعض؟ ده احنا كنا ممكن نعمل شغل حلو مع بعض.
كان متوقع ان يبقى في ما بينهم شراكة، ان هو يبقى الكينج وهو يبقى النائب بتاعه، فكان ليهم مصلحة طبعا together.
طبعا مين who said this to whom؟
طبعا it's Rupert Henzo who said this to Rasindel after they finished.
Where were they and what had just happened؟
Exactly. طبعا كنا لسه في الكاسل and they were in the forest near the castle. Rupert had killed the duke. ده حصل في the room of Antoinette de Mauban. Rasindel had killed the others of the 6 men and rescued the king. يعني the whole plan was done.
What was the plan that wasn't followed؟ ايه الخطة اللي ما كانش مشي عليها راسندل بناء على كلام روبرت؟
Rasindel would attack when Rupert said to. The king, the duke, Sapt and Fritz would all die. Rasindel would remain the king and Henzo would be rewarded. ودي الخطة اللي كان عايزها هنزو، وقالها لرودولف راسندل وكان طالب منه انه يعمل كده، وكان مقتنع انه طبيعي ليه لا، بما انه هيكسب اوريدي الملك وهنزو هياخد مبلغ كبير، فكان من الطبيعي لانه ملوش مصلحه بما انه هو لا ملك ولا دي بلده ولا اي حاجه، فواي نوت ان هو يعمل كده. لكن طبعا الخطه دي ما حصلتش وما وافقش عليها رودولف راسندل، ورجعنا تاني وقلنا because he's a man of honor and a man of principle، رفض الكلام ده كله ووصل للاخر انه يقدر يحرر الملك ويرجعه تاني لملكه ويرفض تماما what Rupert Henzo had already asked him to do.
That's right. Another quotation. Help Michael. It's Robert Henson. Who was the speaker؟
طبعا it was Antoinette de Mauban when she was in her room attacked by Rupert.
Why did the speaker cry for help؟
Exactly. She cried for help because Rupert attacked her because she sent secret letters to Rudolf Rasindel.
What did Michael do؟
He tried to defend Antoinette but Rupert killed him.
شوف كمان quotation تاني. She is my guest. It's you who needs to be punished. يعني أنا أعتقد في الكوتيشن ده I'll try to respect Duke Michael. She is my guest. It's you who needs to be punished. Who said this to whom؟
It was Michael who said this to Rupert.
Who was the guest؟
Of course, it was Antoinette de Mauban.
Although Duke Michael was angry، غاضب من Antoinette de Mauban، but she was his guest.
طبعا، وعشان كده هو he wanted
he refused anyone to punish her.
Exactly. وده اللي كان الرد منه، يمكن ما اهتمش كتير بان هي she's sending secrets to Rasindel، هيتكلم فيها بعدين، لكن she was the guest so she has to be honored.
Why did the speaker want to punish the addressed person؟ لازم طبعا نعرف يعني ايه speaker ويعني ايه addressed. speaker ده معناها المتحدث، و addressed person معناها الشخص المخاطب، يعني الشخص اللي بيرد عليه. Because Robert attacked Antoinette as he believed she was helping Rasindel. هي فعلا كانت بتساعد راسندل. لكن بتقول لي بتساعد راسندل ليه؟ She didn't want anyone to be hurt. مش بتحبش حد يكون مأذي، يعني ما بتحبش أذية لحد. فطبعا لما عرفت ان ديوك مايكل بيحاول يأذي راسندل ويأذي الملك، حاولت تساعد راسندل. We mustn't kill him yet or there will be trouble. ما ينفعش نقتله دلوقتي والا هيحصل في مشكلة. Who said this to whom?
Datcher said this to Personen.
طبعا where was this said?
This was said in the castle.
What happened after that?
Razendel killed both of them.
Thank you, my dear friends. We come to the end of this episode for today. Wait for us the next time. We'll get you a lot of information about Prisoner of Zenda and about your student book and workbook. Thank you and goodbye.
My dear students, thank you for following us today. We have really enjoyed the time with you. Hope that you have also benefited from everything that we presented. Waiting for you next time. Please keep up. Thank you.
Bye.